Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Astrological Intentions. I am your host, Alex Reevy, along with the hostess herself, Sandy Reevy.
Oh my gosh. Santa ho-ho, I hope you're meaning.
Of course. The episode 230, December 19th. Let's get right into it. In the transits, we start off with Sandy's astrologically interesting day, Tuesday, December 20th, Jupiter in Aries.
Not bad at all.
Wednesday, December 21st, Sun ingress Capricorn.
A solstice point.
And Sun square Jupiter.
Nothing is holding you back.
Thursday, December 22nd, Venus trine Uranus retrograde.
Go off on your own.
And Friday, December 23rd, a new moon at 1 degree Capricorn.
Stable optimism.
And ending the week with Saturday, December 24th, Mercury sextile Neptune.
Christmas magic on Christmas Eve.
And in talisman time, Sandy has one upcoming: to believe in the value of persistence and hard work. Then on the horizon, we are finishing up our 12 days of Christmas gifts. We have a 2023 year ahead forecast for you with many gifts, so you make sure to get your raffle tickets. And in our house, Sandy and I are going to be recapping for her trip to Santa Fe.
Santa ho 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 fe.
Alrighty, stay tuned for this episode of Astrological Intentions.
I say go do you. Now travel far, share your stories and earn your scars. It's you. Say you are the one you will answer to when this life is done. Don't waste a minute, jump in the river, wash yourself clean so you can deliver you.
Hello, ho-ho hostess.
I know, I'm very Christmas and holiday
Spirited
and busy.
It started out early before Thanksgiving, and now you've hosted more parties than I think I have living in the condo.
Well, I've been in this townhouse 19 years.
Well, I'm talking about in the last 2 months you've had more.
Right. But I think it was, when I went to Santa Fe, my host and his partner were so accommodating. I mean, Michael and Ridge, shout out to you. Everything was taken care of for me. I was shocked. We found out that Michael has Vesta on my sun, and Jupiter was expanding both of those. So hearth and home, he made me very special son. Mm-hmm. With Jupiter there saying, oh, and here's more. So that was very accommodating. And I got home and I looked at my beautiful home all decorated for the holidays and having my tablescape still up from Thanksgiving, which is very sparkly and glittery and, all the crystals and things.
Right.
And I thought, you know what? I want 5 people, because it's 6 people sitting at the table. I'm one. I want 5 of my friends to come over. Right. And so I just, pulled really from my neighborhood.
Right.
And so I've been making some of my holiday treasure recipes and
yes.
And I have to say this, though, this is funny. And I know that you're like rolling your eyes at me like, Mom, stop talking right now.
We're just at the intro.
Everybody has had a party of some sort that people feel like they need to bring something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you say, no, don't bring anything. And then sometimes you're told to bring a dish or something. So I went way craggy, way further than that. I said, can you please bring a salad? And if you don't have, I've got some of my favorite recipes I can send you. Oh my God, who has ever done that? But I have this view, I have this vision, and my Pisces energy is like, well, I have a vision.
And what the main entree, you were making the main entree. So, instead of patch making everything and putting it together.
Kind of like potlucky. I didn't want that. I wanted a very elegant, dressed up.
Right.
Candlelit evening of champagne flutes, right, with pomegranate seeds bubbling up in them.
Yes.
All right. But anyway, everybody was appreciative. I was quite surprised.
Yes, of course. Why not?
Anyway.
Let's go direct to all of our listeners. We have a message from Diane. She just started the process of creating her own personal talisman mala.
Oh, I know. I'm
And
excited
so this is
to meet you.
108 beads that are all hand created at a very important, influential time for her chart. And so I sent her basically the instructions and how this whole process works and her response. Thank you, Alexandra, for the very helpful email and explanations. I just booked my first appointment with Sandy. Sandy, I'm looking forward to participating in this process with you to create an intention beads talisman. I am a longtime client and friend of Kay Taylor.
Love her.
Kay's explanation in her recent newsletter of your work resonated with me, setting and supporting a clear intention. And what a perfect time to start off 2023. Thank you both, Diane.
Woo woo!
So excited for her.
It is a good time to start off. And it's interesting because, we always try to start off the new year, January 1st, with resolutions, although I have erased that word from my vocabulary in the board and put up intention, right? Being the intention queen and princess over here.
Right.
And interesting because Mercury and Mars are retrograde when we get to January 1st. So there is this time period of, maybe considering some of your intentions for 2023, but not to engage them, not to kind of permanently write them in ink until after Mars goes direct, which is January 12th, and Mercury goes direct, which is not till I think it's January 18th. So perfect timing.
I also think that that's the time that majority of the resolutions actually start
failing.
No. Start gaining moment, or at least being written in pen, having a little bit more permanency, because after the holidays, it's kind of like, let me recoup for a minute and then start getting my head wrapped around what I want this next year to become.
Or by the end of the month, people are peeling off what they really want, but can't put their head and their body and their actions in order of their resolutions or / intentions.
True.
So that, anyway, maybe we'll talk about more of this on the other side, but it's just really a good time to engage your core fire, Mars energy, right? And link it with the root chakra, the Saturn, and then send it up in Kundalini energy to the crown and beyond to say, what starts in your core comes up through the heart, through the voice, through the second chakra, the sixth chakra, and the seventh chakra into our brain. So I think we have to take some time, and we'll follow this through the podcasts on some more dates. But let's talk about this coming week, the week before Christmas, and all through the land.
So in the transits, we are starting the week off with Tuesday, December 20th, with your astrologically interesting day, Jupiter in Aries, which I have natally.
You do. You have Jupiter, Venus in Aries natally, so you're going to get a Jupiter return coming up. So I want you to experience that, anticipating and writing on your intentions more. Right. But I called it not bad at all. And I called it, it's an astro interesting period, Tuesday the 20th and Wednesday the 21st. And I'll explain why. But Jupiter's leaving 29 Pisces. Now for me, because I'm a 29 degree Pisces sun. So Jupiter on any time, anyone can get Jupiter on their sun, that enlarges and gains more for light, more warmth, more growth in your personality and who you are. Hoping not to lead to too much of a egotistical, because ego, what happens when we grow the ego? We can get egotistical. But now that it's moving into Aries, now it's dipped into Aries between May and October of this year, 2022. So it's only going to spend 5 months in Aries as we get into 2023. And I know I'm spending a little bit longer here because when I was in Santa Fe, and we'll talk a little bit about this in our house, just watch for opportunities when Jupiter hits your sun or Jupiter comes back to your Jupiter or to a personal planet.
Right.
It would be a time to make a talisman, right? So I'm wearing my new talisman right now. See?
Yes, I see it. So let's.
Well, I haven't even started.
Okay.
I mean, this is a big deal.
I know it's exciting, and it's exciting for me too. So let's hear it.
And Jupiter can do very well in Aries. And, in Pisces, that water sign of dreaming and considering and wouldn't this be nice and having these type of fantasies and visions that are non-tangible, they're dreamy. But then when Jupiter moves into Aries, and this is at 8:32 a.m. Central on Tuesday, the 20th, we're coming up. So as much as I'm disappointed that Jupiter's leaving my sun, 29 Pisces, it is giving us a brand new start. And, Jupiter is a triplicity lord in everyone's that has night charts.
Okay.
So it means that you're with your tribe. You feel like you belong to a group of people. Jupiter is also the bound lord from 0 to 6 degrees of Aries. So a bound lord means you're able to manage and perform duties that are bestowed upon you.
Okay.
So that time frame is that 0 to 6 is when Jupiter will be starting December 20th all the way through January 31st. So that's when Jupiter goes into 0 Aries and leaves 6 Aries on January 31st. So this period of time,
powerful.
you need to take action, have executive ability. What have you tried on about a dream? The Jupiter and Pisces that we've been having. That when Jupiter was back here in Aries from May of 2022 till the end of October, as I mentioned just a second ago, when Jupiter was in Aries and then retrograded back into Pisces, you have this opportunity now. Take action. Aries is a springboard,
right?
It's springing, right? It's the first sign of the zodiac year. It's that spring.
It's
sun
that.
Right? When the sun gets in
on
there.
your mark, get set, and go.
And
that shotgun.
And Jupiter is really trying to expand that. And I've got more talk about that because I was asked to be on a live radio show with a very obscure astrologer. And some of you know his work because I carry his book around on all my retreats.
But let's keep that story until later.
Got it.
So is this all about Jupiter and Aries? Is that all we need to know? I'm sure there's more.
There's always more with Jupiter. And then in Aries, take off. Dare yourself. Dare yourself to actually do something that you have been always dreaming about. Can I talk about one more thing?
Sure.
And I did this on purpose. Remember I was going to Greece in May? And I thought, I've never been to Greece. I've always wanted to go to Greece. I study Greek mythology, blah, 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 right? And so I thought, if I leave Chicago, Illinois, when Jupiter's at 29 Pisces, sitting on my sun, what is that dream I've always wanted to take? And I purposely landed in Athens, Greece, when Jupiter went into Aries. So it was my dream over here that I actually made the effort and the movement
to start
to start something. And sure enough, I loved it there. I found some new friends. We are going back for a retreat in September. So that kind of stuff, people. Have your best friend, your partner, your somebody in your circle that knows your intentions and your dreams. Ask them to dare you. Say, hey, dare me to do something that you have heard me talk about for this long, forever, that I keep harping at and don't do. Dare me to do something and see if you can.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm done now.
Oh, okay. So Wednesday, December 21st, we have 2 transits. The first is Sun ingress Capricorn. Happy birthday to all the Capricorns out there.
Yeah, the light is returning slowly, but that's one thing we can count on. And this is at 3:48 p.m. just in case that's central, in case you need to mark the exact moment of Sun going into the solstice point for Capricorns.
Mm-hmm. And also the second transit is Sun square Jupiter.
So here we go. This is nothing is holding you back. This is sitting on the world point. What?
So
What
explain
does
that a little bit.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
So any of the 0 cardinals, and we have 4. Let me review them. The first one is Aries,
Mm-hmm.
which is the one I'm talking about right now.
Mm-hmm. Cancer.
Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn.
Mm-hmm.
So when any major, any planets really go over those 1 degree angles of those cardinal signs, those 4 signs, it hits the world point. And the world point is a placement that is marked in the sky that gives us portals to the other side of the universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it includes the whole world, right? Oftentimes we'll see people leave right around world point. It's very easy. It's easy transit,
Okay.
right? So should anyone lose anyone around, a solstice point, which, Christmas is a big one because, my dad left, 3 days after. And I know a lot of people, my 3 best friends' parents left at that same timing. It's just an easy passage.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this was easy. Their passage, their transition was super easy, even though it was hard for you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I wanted to, and when you can get Sun just moving into that Capricorn 0 and Jupiter going into that 0 mark, right? Aries, Capricorn, those are 2 of the 4 cardinal placements. Wow, there's nothing holding you back. You can go to beyond and back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's with reception because the Sun is exalted in Aries. So that's called reception. So it's action spelled like success, ambition and perseverance, fearless yet cautious.
Mm.
Right? That sounds funny, right? Fearless. I'm fearless, but I'm cautious. In other words, I'm very clear on what I am fearless about that I know that is not detrimental to my health or anyone else's.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So really interesting time period for Jupiter to go into Aries while the Sun is going into Capricorn, and they're both making a square. So they're making contact.
Yeah. No, it's great.
It's huge.
And those are 2 kind of power signs.
Right. So if anybody's feeling like they're getting restless or getting like, let's get going. And even though I am saying goodbye to Jupiter for 12 years, I'm thrilled to have it go into Aries and start doing some of the things that we've always wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We can move on now.
Move on to Thursday, December 22nd, Venus trine Uranus retrograde.
Go off on your own. This is a trine. And this is also with reception, meaning Uranus is in Taurus, ruled by Venus. So they're making a contact. Today is a perfect to go where you want. And it's interesting that I talked about it. It's right before Christmas. No one is holding you back because they are not invited. What? Take one chance. Buy 1 ticket. See where it leads. Interesting. I had to do a ton of errands. I hate errands. I'd rather go long trips, right? I hate this little errand stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bored and I'm tired.
Right.
I had a ton of them to do yesterday because of my dinner party. And the songs I'm hearing in stores, the song I heard on the radio, excuse me, is about, I'd rather be lost than stuck. I heard a song similar in 2 locations when I was out yesterday, and I kept thinking, wow, there it is again. I'd rather be lost than stuck where I'm at. So in other words, take a chance.
Right.
Buy a ticket. See where it leads you.
Yeah. And take
you
it on.
You may find that you like this and you're learning things along the way, but you're not stuck sitting in a chair locked in place.
Yeah, you're taking it on more as an adventure of, I want to find a solution. I want to find my way. I want to investigate and engage in being lost, because that's where a lot of the fun happens.
And I don't have to be right. And I don't have to make the right decision. Now, there are some decisions that we have to make that take us completely off our highway.
Mm-hmm.
The exit sign, right? Or the ditch. Now, we're not making, if you're listening to us here and have followed us, I doubt that you're making those decisions.
Right. So Friday, December 23rd, we have a new moon at 1 degree of Capricorn.
Right. So now the moon's almost at the world point, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is at 4:17 a.m. Central. And, let's just talk about the moon moving across the sun and in this Capricorn. Moon is in detriment here. Moon doesn't like, he rules the opposite sign. She rules the opposite sign of Cancer. So in the opposite sign of Capricorn, because they sit on an axis,
Mm-hmm.
it just means she's in detriment. She just really doesn't have her wherewithal about this. But it's also square, because the moon is now squaring Jupiter.
Mm.
So, it's like stable optimism. It's like not too much, but not too less. And it's kind of just the amount enough to get ahead.
Okay.
Right.
Goldilocks, kind of, with the three bears.
Yeah.
Got it.
How do you analyze that to this? Just curious. I love your thinking.
Well, when you said not too much, not too little, it's just right.
Oh, that's right.
It's kind of the Goldilocks and the three bears, because the Papa Bear was too much, the baby bear was too little, the mama bears was just perfect. So,
thank you for bringing
you're
back
so
the
welcome.
childhood
You're so welcome.
fantasies.
So Saturday,
Frosty the Snowman. Oh, I know you're looking at me funny.
Well, it's so
First of all,
strange.
can I just?
You are so
come on.
strange.
This is. I got Jupiter on my sun. Let me just express myself.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what Frosty the Snowman song is about?
No.
We sing that song from 50 years, 60 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's so cute. I mean, I guess I was listening
Is it a
to
morbid song?
Well, it's like, the sun comes out, the snowman melts. And as the snowman's melting and going away, he promises to come back someday.
Yeah.
It's just like,
right.
Bye, I'll see you again. I don't know when. Right. It's so cute.
Passing
children don't
moments.
understand that, right?
Right.
It kind of reminds me of this like sad best friend leaving and then coming back when you least expect it. But you have to, build it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like
so
that
let's
analogy.
move on to
Oh my
Saturday,
gosh, okay.
December 24th. Merry Christmas Eve. Mercury sextile Neptune.
Mercury sextile Neptune. I know you just said that. Okay. I want to keep talking. I'm going to have no trouble with my readings today.
No, you won't.
I
You
got
won't.
3.5 hours of readings
Yeah,
today.
you're fine.
This is wonderment. This is all your senses are activated. Light that aroma and that warm feeling. Have insightful conversations. Stay in the magic.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I am going to Cincinnati for the first time to be with my family because I haven't been there the last couple of years. And a lot of people haven't been with their family for the Christmas holidays. And it's kind of that magic, really, what has happened for everyone that you're circling around a tree.
You're Frosty the Snowman. You're coming back one day.
I knew it was an important message for me. Thank you for clarifying that. And I'm actually thinner this time, right? And actually, look, I'm actually 3 years younger.
You're Frosty the Snowman, but sculpted. With some muscles and some waistline.
With a belt.
A cinch,
and a mini skirt.
A cinch belt. Got it.
Yeah, it's magic. It's Christmas magic. And I like this on Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm.
So really, enjoy. You don't have to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have all your preparations done and prepared and bringing what you need to bring. And enjoy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Love it. Love it. And happy holidays, everyone listening. We thank you so much for listening to our ponderings and our silliness here on the podcast. So let's move into talisman times, where you have one upcoming talisman that is Monday, December 26th, to believe in the value of persistence and hard work.
My life's philosophy is one of commitment. I see the results of my efforts.
Mm-hmm.
This is a fixed star. And it not only is it a fixed star, it's a Saturn talisman. And I think I mentioned at our trunk show that we just had, great, thanks for everybody for showing up for the trunk show. It was a great success.
Right.
If you're looking, I mentioned at that point that everyone, in my opinion, well, because I am the master of, am I the mistress of, or does the master of?
Of what?
Of intention setting.
Oh, yes.
That everyone should have really a sun talisman, a moon talisman, a Venus talisman, a Mercury talisman, a Jupiter talisman, a Mars talisman, a Saturn talisman, right? All of the talismans. And this was this is a Saturn. This is one of the last Saturn, one of the last Saturn talismans. While Saturn's in a ruling sign, he's leaving and won't be
in Aquarius
or Capricorn or even Libra, where Saturn is exalted for
years.
I don't know, years and years and years, like 15 years, and then 30 years or 27 years. But this one is sitting on the fixed star Deneb Algedi. And this is at 23 degrees of Aquarius. And the moon is there. The Ascendant is there. Jupiter is there. And of course, that's where Deneb Algedi sits because it's a fixed star. It doesn't move.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the lawgiver. This is about wealth and believing in values, believing in something that has promise.
And committing to something.
And committing. And, and persistence and hard work. I mean, we're all here by finding a curiosity, to find an interest, to find something that connects to us on our values.
Mm-hmm.
And, for me, remember when I said to you and Andrew at some point, I'm like, I am making beads for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And that was 25 years ago. Right? And I'm still doing it with a different spin, which is really what I'm supposed to be doing. But to have a life philosophy, right, in what you value. And this is seeing the results of that effort.
Mm-hmm.
So this talisman, I'll put it up on the website. I'll get it up there as soon as we hang up here. But if you get it in pre-sale, this is Monday, December 26th. This is a great gift for yourself. And I'll be making this in Cincinnati. So I'll separate from myself, from my family, and go up and do this talisman. This is an important talisman, especially for the new year. Yeah.
So let's discuss the talisman of the month, and that is to purify my vitality and authority. This is on special on the website. Make sure to check it out. Click that link in the show notes, and you'll learn a lot more about the bracelet. You'll be able to see pictures, a picture of the chart, a little bit of Sandy's affirmation writing, and some notes about the talisman. So moving on to On the Horizon, we are just finishing up our 12 days of Christmas gifts. This is she beads. So the original bead making that you did decades ago. And so every once in a while we do a pop-up, and that pop-up is going to be ending today as we're publishing this podcast. Right. But you actually get access to days 12 all the way to 1 today.
And you won't get them in time for Christmas. We can't guarantee that, but they're still available for delivery after Christmas.
Right. If you do order today, that's the deadline that USPS offered us. But if you somehow expedite it, or it's possible. It's possible.
Christmas magic.
It's Christmas magic. Let's just say that. We did just finish up our virtual trunk show event and raffle. So excited that our winner is Karen L. And she's so happy. She's really excited to get her talisman shortly. And the virtual trunk show turned out great. They're
fun, actually. They're only an hour, and just to
it sometimes isn't enough.
Well, no. And if you're into astrology, there's a lot of astrology that I talk about. So I'm not just showing pretty things. I'm showing charts.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm explaining a chart.
Right. An election chart.
Election chart. Mm-hmm.
So we also just finished up the USA's Pluto Return Part 3. That is ready and waiting for you on the website. And don't forget that starting this year, we are going to be opening up all of the webinars that Sandy and Susan did for free when you are a part of our Patreon community.
That's a lot.
It's great. So you head over to patreon.com/chattingwiththestars, all one word, super easy. And you get to pick your tier from there. You can even have readings with Sandy and Susan quarterly. You can do it once a month. So there's tons of different options for you. And you get all these really wonderful perks with the
and that's what
forecasts.
Patreon, like you can we got 4 levels, and you can sign up for the 1 level and you get this.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can sign up for this level and you get that, plus this, 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 and this.
Right.
Then you can sign up for level 3, get all of that, plus this, this, and this.
Right.
And then the 4th, and is when you get everything plus a monthly 1-hour reading with Susan and I.
Yes.
Huge.
I mean, it turns out to be really great savings.
And that's already in that cost.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just making out on all those other free perks, which is cheat sheet, which is, we're not going to be doing
monthly forecasts.
The monthly 1-hour live that Susan and I do will be on Patreon now. You can't find it on Facebook or Instagram or on whatever those other things you put it on.
Correct. So yes, head over to Patreon. Remember, patreon.com/chattingwiththestars. Also, the link is in the show notes if you need it. Also, December 31st is the 2023 year ahead forecast. That is, again, with Sandy and Susan. And there will be raffles. There will be tons of information. Sandy and Susan are going to be going through January all the way through December, highlighting their favorite days of the year with a big focus on the month of January.
I'm also, I will give conflict days too.
Oh, conflict days too. So that is going to be our last Facebook Live event with Sandy and Susan that's open and free to the public. Then that platform again is changing over to Patreon. So make sure to head over there. You will be able to pick from different tiers starting at $5 and going up. So let's also just mention too that our 2023 Mexico retreat, there is 1 spot left, and we are keeping this open until the start of the retreat because that room and the entire retreat location is open to us.
Ours.
Which is unheard of in the retreat industry.
Open or closed, all for us.
Mm-hmm. So get on and over to our retreat page. That link is in the show notes. Also in the events drop down if you wanted to head over to our website, intentionbeads.com. So we would love to have you. If you wanted to make a spontaneous trip, this one is for you. We have a room ready for you and a friend if you wanted to bring a friend. So,
and you just might see some extra money in your stockings this year. It's Christmas magic.
It is Christmas magic. So also we are going to be featuring our 2023 Bali retreat. That is April 1st through the 11th. You will be seeing some emails and some excitement going on around that retreat soon. Mm-hmm. So if you are interested to learn more, that page will be coming up very shortly. And we would love for you to join us there. And maybe we can bring in some people who have gone to Bali before and do one of those features again. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can I just mention that a new thing that we're about to put out in the next week or two?
Sure.
The candles.
Right.
I know. I've been so super excited. We just partnered with a local handmade soy candle business, and these 2 guys. Everything's made right here in Evanston.
Oh, yes.
And
they actually have a storefront that's right across the street from where I'm at a little bit further south and in the city.
And here they're right up the street from me, and where they make them. And I popped in there. They invited me over there, and I picked up my order. And of course, they're all zodiac candles, and they're in these little silver tins, and they make them up with the oils in the essence of the actual Aries or Pisces or Scorpio. And so we're going to sell them for them.
Yeah. New partnership.
A new partnership. And so that's going to go on our website. And we're going to be doing, they're like $12 a piece, but if you buy 2 or if you buy 3, you get bigger deals. So make sure you take a look at that. I don't know if it's going to be up for Christmas gifts, but it'll be up for New Year's Day gifts.
Correct. So we are so excited. So head over to the website, check it all out, and let's move into our house where we are going to recap your trip from Santa Fe because there's so much juicy, wonderful things that happened. And I guess we talked a little bit about it last week, but what else happened? Well,
in addition to, I got to see one of my really, really good friends, Farley. I haven't seen her in 8 years. I got to see my cousin. I haven't seen him in some years, although he does come to Cincinnati to events. Because he lives out there. But I'm staying with Michael and Ridge. And one day, Michael's like, oh, I want to introduce you to Mary Lynn. She runs a live radio show called Moonwise.
Cool.
And she's also an astrologer. Well, her cat died. And so Michael has a pet cemetery on his multiple acres ranch in Santa Fe. So Mary Lynn, weirdly, her cat died, and therefore she had to come over to the house. So I got to meet her. And in the conversation, she just got this enlightened thought to invite me to her. She's like, oh, we're going to have to do a radio. I'll invite you to the radio station someday. We're going to do it. I'll do it on Zoom or something. And she goes, hey, when do you leave? I said, Saturday afternoon. And she said, hey, can you get to the radio station at 10:30?
On Saturday?
On Saturday.
Wow.
I'd like to have you as a second guest speaker. I already have someone coming in. And then she mentioned the guy's name. And I was like, what?
Right.
So Martin Goldsmith is the writer of the book I carry around about the Sabian symbols. That I just found out is not in print anymore.
And for like every single event that we do,
I give Sabian symbols. This is his Sabian symbol. And he's very obscure because he doesn't come to any of the conferences. He's not
a big public figure.
He doesn't do readings. He's kind of this, who is he kind of guy, right? And she invites me on the radio show alongside him. And
That's so cool.
I'm not scared. I got Jupiter on my sun. I have this. I know what I'm saying, blah, blah, blah. Right. And it gave me the sense of confidence. And that's what Jupiter does to the sun. And so I show up and I did some notes and I get there. He's got twice as many notes as I do.
Wow.
Well, because he's also written book. He wrote a book on Jupiter.
Oh, cool.
Jupiter Dances. He signed a couple books for me, and that was that. That was cool. And we like each other a lot. Oh my God, we were just chatty, he and I. We shared phone numbers. He was just this really awesome guy. So we get on the radio show, and of course we're the subject, and it's a 27-minute show. The subject is Jupiter and Aries. And, he wrote a book on it.
Yeah. Right.
He's a 40+ year researcher. That's what his astrology and book writer, right? And I'm not. I'm not that. I am a practicing consulting astrologer, right? Election talisman maker. So just saying some of the things that he and I were just kind of bantering around, and I said something about have your friend dare you. And Mary Lynn said, some things that you keep talking about, like I really should do this, but I don't. I really should do that, but I'm scared, or I don't know how I'll go about it.
Sometimes you need that
And
exterior push.
And it's so crazy. And it's so like astrologers because we don't always agree on the same thing. And that's fine because we have our own different charts. Right. So I know this might be a little bit longer than you think it is, Alex, because I'm talking way too much these days. That I say that daring thing. And he says, oh, if anybody dared me, I would not take the dare. Well, because I know his chart, he introduced me as his chart, right? When I met him, and having the air as a prominent placement in your chart, that air leads to the thinking, the noggin, the mental, like, ooh, let me walk through this in my head. Does this make sense? Is this pertinent? Is this efficient? Is this effective? I could see where dares. So anyway, I get on the train and I'm reading his book, Jupiter's Dance. And I not that I want to pull up because I'm going to send this to him. I've just found this. So I'm reading Jupiter in Leo, which is a fire sign. So yes, the Aries fire to my fire feeds the fire. And what does that do? Fire spreads, fire to fire connects, makes a bigger fire, right? So then I go to his part in the book that says, Jupiter in the first house. Now, not only do I have Jupiter in the first house, I have it in the first house, but on the ascendant, on the first house side. So I get to this part and I'm reading and I've underlined it now because this is just hours after he said, oh, I would never take a dare. And I'm like, I would totally take a dare. And that's the difference in, in, each person's personality, right? So I get to this point and it says, let's see, where should I? It's a kind of a long sentence. This impulse is neither criminal nor rebellious. People with Jupiter in the first house realize that one never knows what a situation will bear until one puts it to the test. Since there is a wide discrepancy between what society will allow and what one should dare it to allow. Oh, and I'm like, I'm going to take a picture of this and send it to him to go, yeah, you might be right for you, but I'm right for me, right? And it's and you wrote it, right? So it was like, it was kind of like, no, I know who I am, right? So you know who you are. So anybody that has a lot of fire in their
composition,
in their natal chart, really, for those whom love you, ask them to dare you to do not something that they want you to do, something that is in your soul's heart to say,
I've always wanted to do that.
I've always wanted to break up with this person. I've always wanted to take a trip. I've always wanted to start a class. I've always wanted to quit my job. I've always wanted to have a child. I've always wanted to move.
Right.
Just like that songs I heard yesterday. I'd rather be lost than stuck.
And so, yes, ask your family, ask your support system to help support you with a challenge, a dare, extra support, or just keeping you and your dreams accountable.
So can I add there too?
Sure. Of course.
Are we on the 2-hour mark yet? And so doing this, my Optivia, my food program.
Yes.
That I am 1
pound away from your goal weight, which you never thought in your entire rest of your life would ever be possible.
Oh, I think I was 12 when I got here. No, or maybe 16.
Okay, maybe 16. 12 is...
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever been to this weight since I was maybe 16. Because when my mom took me to diet workshop, I was probably already in the 150s. And I never got over 160 something, right? I never got over that. Because I got that early behavior modification systems in place because my mom, did that for me. So now I'm below 140.
Right. How crazy.
And I am like so thrilled about this program that I signed up to be a coach.
Oh my gosh.
You don't
Congratulations.
know this.
No, I didn't.
I got this like almost teary-eyed feeling that, you know, as I talk to my clients, you know, in astrology, if you dare to lose weight, if you dare to get healthier, if you dare yourself to do what you keep taking into the shower, as Julia Roberts, or I should say Elizabeth Gilbert says in Eat, Pray, Love.
Yeah.
I take every pizza bite into the shower and I
loathe
myself,
right.
But I don't want to do that because I enjoy life. I'm not trying to be obese, but I'm trying to enjoy life. I am enjoying life in food, but also very cognizant of my program.
Right.
And I'm going to have champagne tonight. I'm going to eat everything that I'm making and everybody's bringing.
Yeah.
I am having dessert, but then I'm locking back into tomorrow, and it doesn't perpetuate my an old
habit
for what would that be? 50-year habit. So I dare you, Optivia, in January.
Okay.
Mid-January. I would love to be your coach.
How do people sign up?
I don't know yet.
Will you? Okay. Okay, we're gonna dare you, but we have no idea how you start that dare. If I do find something, you're gonna see it in the show notes. However, we will.
I'm not a coach yet. I have to go through the program.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, but I just signed up is what I said. Again,
Okay.
I'm taking the dare to help other people because that can lock my again.
Well, they always
to
say
believe in the value of persistence and hard work. My life's philosophy is one of commitment. I see the results of my efforts. This talisman that I'm making Monday, December 6th, who wants to lock into a commitment
December
of a dare
26th.
of a dream?
Yeah, December 26th.
This is one talisman. I'm going to put it on pre-sale.
So love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. I think that's a wrap on our episode.
I better save my throat for my 3.5 hours of readings today.
So thank you, everybody, for listening in. Of course, if you have any questions, email me, alex@intentionbeads.com. And until next week, we will see you then. Have a happy holiday. We love you. Share our podcast with some of your cousins that you're going to see for the holidays and let us know what they think. All right, everybody, have a great week.
Bye, everybody. Merry Christmas.
I say go do you. Now travel far, share your stories and earn your scars. It's you. Say you are the one you will answer to when this life is done. Don't waste a minute, jump in the river. Wash yourself clean so you can deliver you. The story of you, the story of you. The story of you, the story.